Hello! Y'all remember Stormtrooper? Haven't seen him in a while, have you? Well, he's been sitting out here in the garage. By the way, if I don't know, eagle-eyed viewers may notice, the garage has been cleaned up a little. The cobalt workbench that was over in that corner is now over here behind the camera. So I had to rearrange everything in order to get Baby Trooper into the garage because there wasn't room for both cars. Now there is. And you don't care. What we're here to do today is put on, to black out my Sidemarkers, Taillight stuff that I hinted, I don't know, weeks ago that I was going to do soon. Well, soon has finally arrived. We got a little sidetracked by gaming and tech and some other stuff, but we're back to the car. So today we're going to be putting the Bogar Tech blackout decals, this stuff, onto the side markers and elsewhere. So why don't we get right to it? Now, by the way, one of the things I like about the Bogar Tech is if you get it from, you can get these from Lux, which is where I got like the tail, the splitter thing on the back of the car. And Lux gives you an extra. Well, Bogar Tech gives you just 2 full sets, so that way if you screw up, you're good. So let's get on it. Clearly, the first thing we have to do, as always, is get out our isopropyl alcohol and clean the surface. There we go. So that it will adhere well. I do not have, well, this will give it a chance to dry up a little. I need my little squeegee. By the way, I'm using the Lux squeegee. Bogar Tech just gives you well, it's really cheap. It's a lot cheaper than the Lux set. But they don't give you all the little extras. Like this is a prep bottle. This is also from Lux. So I used a lot of the Lux stuff. So sorry, Lux. That I'm not. Okay, so on here we have your front. And you can see this is clearly this side front because it's tilted forward. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little wet application. And I missed. This is why we do the wet application, so that you can screw it up. Now ordinarily, as regular viewers of the channel know, I would have my friend Brian here actually doing this detail work because he's the detail guy. But I may have mentioned in a previous video that Brian blew his knee out, and him getting down onto the ground is even harder than me getting down on the ground. So, in other words, not happening. So Brian can't do this, so I'm stuck doing this. And as you can already see, I pretty much suck at this detail work, getting things lined up right. Although, well, now it's a little long at this end. Well, I'll be. It's not perfect. But it's probably as close as I'm going to get to perfect. Yeah, I have a little tiny bit of orange peeking out under it right there. So I think I was a little high. I do have a whole nother one. I'm going to let it ride. Okay. Now for the rear, well, the side rear, we will get the isopropyl alcohol on there. I hate being in the way. So now we'll put on the liquid prep. We have the rear, and the rear look to be very identical on both sides of the car. See, on the front, one end is more slanted than the other, but on the rear, both ends are equally slanted. So we will lay this down. Oh yeah, there's definitely writing on here, because back here, I can actually read it through. I'm going to have to get out here with a razor blade because that's just a little too much to, the squeegee can't squeeze it down in there. It'll squeeze in on the top, on the bottom, and it squeezed in just fine on this end. But it was a little long on this end, but like I said, I will just get the razor blade out in a minute. Okay. Well, I cut it. There we go. There we go. Yes. So continuing forward, I am going to do the backup lights next because I don't have to get down on my hands and knees. I mean, I'm going to have to get to the bottom reflectors down here. But for now, these guys. Yeah, that is this one. Well, let's put down our prep spray. And of course, by the way, it looks like to really see what I'm doing, I'm going to have to get down here. Well, okay. Okay, you actually have a lot of room to cover up mistakes here. Because as you can see, the clear part, there's a black outline around, and so the clear part, in other words, this thing is much wider than just that clear part. Okay, I already cleaned the other side. Actually, I think I already put the prep spray down, but it's probably worn, evaporated a bit by now. And again, we have a lot of room for error here, which is good because I make a lot of error. Okay, that went way better than the other side. Apparently, you can actually learn how to do this better by practice. Well, that looks pretty good to me, but yeah, what do I know? Okay, and then the last piece are the rear markers down low. So I'm going to put one of these on. These are identical. They don't have sides. They're both exactly the same cutout. Okay, we will wipe them down with the isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, there's definitely writing embossed into these things. That's what, on that first set I was doing, I was having trouble saying, well, I got bubbles. I didn't have bubbles. I had that writing showing through. By the way, on the second set, you could actually almost read the writing. So I am getting better at this. by the time I get around to the other front side, it should be perfect. Sit down on the ground again, which I love so much. Oh, by the way, good job, Bogar Tech. These seem to be perfect. The side markers were a bit long. But these fit perfectly. Okay. Oh, got it on my first try. Oh, and I don't really have the bubble problems either. Okay, maybe I am getting better at it. Who knows? Oh, but that looks fantastic. There's no bubbles. Wait, shouldn't have said that. I feel like Hagrid. Shouldn't have said it. Shouldn't have said it. Okay, now there's no bubbles that I can see. Let me phrase it that way. I don't think you want to see me do exactly the same thing on the other side, so I'm going to stop recording here for a moment. I will finish, then I'll come back and do a wrap up. Okay, so all done. As you can see, I did the other side of the back, and then I did this side. Now, overall, it was 20 bucks. The kit, the Bogar Tech Designs, the link is below on Amazon, $19.99. You really can't go wrong because you get the two side marker blackouts, the two rear marker blackouts, and then the backup light blackouts. Now, my one note, remember on the first front marker, the very first one I put on, which by the way at the time it was over here because the car was facing the other way. But remember that first one, I had a little bit of trouble, and I had to get out the razor blade because it just, it got stretched and then. So I said, well, it was my first one, and then the rest of them went better and better, and like those rear markers, I mean, they were the perfect fit. I mean, you just put them down and lay them down and fit perfect. And then this one wasn't, but when I got back here, it was the last one I did was the opposite front marker, and I had the exact same problem. So it wasn't because it wasn't just because I was inexperienced. It was also because that it's cut a little big. It's just a little too big. Because I didn't do all the, on that first one I was stretching and pulling, and I didn't have to do all that on this one. I just kind of laid, because I'd gotten good at it. So, well, better. So I laid it down and it still stuck. I need a razor blade, but if I had stretched it at all, even an inch, a fraction of an inch, millimeter. If I'd stretched it a millimeter, I would have needed the razor blade. As it went over, but I was able to tuck it in with the other side of the squeegee, the sharp side of the squeegee. I was able to tuck it in. And actually, I still may have to take the razor blade to it because there was a little bit that I don't think got tucked in real good over here. So my one ding on the it's $20. And I mean, I think the Luxe kit comes in way more expensive. Of course, Luxe gives you, the squeegees and this thing, and I mean, but they only give you one extra piece, whereas this one gives you. I have a whole nother set. I could do a whole nother car if I wanted to. So you can actually do two cars. If you have two Challengers, you can do two of them. But anyway, so that's my one ding on the $20 product. But is it worth $20? You betcha. Let me look. And I will do a little quick tour, hopefully of some around me of close-ups of some of the other. Anyway. So that's it for this week. Got back to the car, although I'm pretty much out of things to do to Stormtrooper. I have put on like every mod that I can find. I will keep looking at videos, looking for more mods, but you know, we do have a comment section down below where if you have suggestions, things you think I could do to the car that might make, you know, and I still have a couple of things I want to do. I'm pointing over there because that's the Veloster's. I pulled it out of the garage and it's parked out on the driveway. I still have a couple of things I want to do to the Veloster. So I'm probably going to put a dash cam in there, and that'll be a whole different thing from in here. Actually, hopefully it'll be a lot easier because it'll be shorter, and the fuse box is on the driver's side. And I'm also, I think, going to do the radar detector thing, which, of course, I can't think of the name of. I'm getting old. I don't remember stuff anymore. But it's the same radar detector mount I used in here, the mirror mount. Maybe that's what it's called, the mirror mount. So I'm probably going to put a mirror mount in there and then, you know, tap into the mirror power like I did here. But then I'm starting to run out of things to do to the Veloster too. So we're running out of Dr. Wigo on cars material. So again, use the comment section to give me ideas. We'll be back next week. I don't know what it'll be. It could be on tech. It could be on gaming. It might be on cars because I still might do some stuff over here. My new PC still hadn't shipped, so that's still at least a week or two away, maybe more. So we don't know. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed actually, this costs way more than $20 if you factor in my time, but I thought it went fairly well. I'm very pleased. I think it looks nice. So I will see you in the next one. See you next time. Bye-bye.